Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going through my favourite thriller books, and I have the synopsis next to me so I can just easily read it to you and then tell you if I like it or not, if I recommend it, and all that kind of jazz. So with that, let's get on to the video. Okay, first up is What Lies Between Us by John Mars, and I'm only going to read a little bit of the synopsis, otherwise it's going to take me forever to get through all of these books. So, Nina can never forgive Maggie for what she did, and she can never let her leave. Every other night, Maggie and Nina have dinner together. When they are finished, Nina helps Maggie back to her room in the attic and into the heavy chain that keeps her there, because Maggie has done things to Nina that can't ever be forgiven, and now she's paying the price. So, just from that, it sounds so good. It was a psychological thriller, and those are my favourite thrillers, so, I love them. I remember reading this very, very fast as well, and it's such a good book. And I do want to read more of John Mars, because if that book is incredible, then surely the rest have to be like that. It's just facts. So I do recommend it, especially if you like psychological thrillers. It was very fast paced, it was so good, it was addicting to read. I absolutely loved it. Next up is The Wickedest of Things by Russell Barry, and this is actually sent to me by the author at the start of the year. So let's get on to the synopsis. Reed Sheridan is a man in search of a challenge, designing games to keep his haunted mind busy to avoid his past. But when his company is bought by the Horizon Corporation, the mysterious Izin, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, has other plans. At Horizon, the greatest event is their labyrinth, a vast maze of puzzles and trials meant to test their people and push them beyond their limits. Izin wants to win, and in Reed, she sees a chance. I absolutely love this. Such a good thriller book. I love escape rooms, so I really enjoyed reading that. It wasn't too slow, it wasn't too fast, it was a perfect balance of them both. And it's just so good. I'm trying to remember the little, I don't think it's a spoiler, this little robot. I cannot remember. I read this in January, so I cannot remember, but it was such a good book, and I do recommend it if you like thrillers, escape rooms, that kind of jazz. And I keep saying jazz a lot, I don't know why. Yeah, really good. And this is actually one of the only books I liked with a male protagonist. I really struggle with male protagonists, but this was incredible. So 100% go and read it. I think you'll really like it. I really do. Next up is The Accomplice by Steve Kavanagh, which is book 7 of the Eddie Flynn series. And I know I probably shouldn't have read book 7 before the rest of them, but whatever, we move. So, synopsis. The Sandman killings have been solved. Daniel Miller murdered 14 people before he vanished. His wife, Carrie, now faces trial as his accomplice. The FBI, the district attorney, the media, and everyone in America believes she knew and helped cover up her husband's crimes. Eddie Flynn won't take a case unless he's found innocent. Now he has to prove to a jury and the entire world that Carrie Miller was just another victim of the Sandman. She didn't know her husband's dark side, and she had no part in the murders. But so far, Eddie and his team are the only ones who believe her. Now, I remember really enjoying this. It was such a good book. And usually I don't love legal thrillers, but this was so good. I really enjoyed this book. And obviously I read this quite a while ago, so I can't remember everything, but I do remember really liking it. I remember gasping and being shocked at the revelations, and just, I love those kind of thrillers that you just don't know what's going to happen, and it's so shocking. I love that in any book really, but thrillers, it's especially good, I hope you know what I mean. I don't really know how to explain it other than that. I do recommend it if you like thrillers and legal thrillers, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, basically it's such a good book. I really liked it, so I do recommend it. The next book is The Reaping by Jess Lurie, and this is actually an ARC read in, I think, February or March. I can't remember. So, and this is the Steinbeck and Reed book 2. I don't think they're connected fully. I think they are interconnected, but not directly. I cannot remember. So, in 1998, an Alco, Minnesota family of 5 was brutally murdered in their sleep. The event shook the insulated community, but without any solid leads, was relegated to the cold case files, where it molded for 25 years until today. Agent Harry Steinbeck hopes never to return to the Northland, a place that holds terrible memories of his sister's abduction, but when a recent homicide is connected to Alco's unsolved mass murder, he and cold case agent Evangeline Reed has no choice but to investigate. I remember really liking this, and I really liked the character of Evangeline. I remember that. It's a really nice thriller. It's a little bit creepy in places, not massively, but a little bit. But still such a good book. I do recommend this. And yeah, it's definitely out now, yeah. Just checked. I would say to read the first one, which is the Taken ones. I know they're not directly directly connected, but I think I would recommend reading the Taken ones first and then the Reaping. I think there are things in the Reaping that kind of mention the first book. I read this such a long time ago now that I don't remember fully, but I do remember really liking both books. The next book is Don't Let Her In by Joanne Ryan, which was another ARC read, and this was a psychological thriller. And I will read the synopsis. The letters drop onto every doormat. Lena, I think I'm saying that right, Lena, Lena? I'm bad with names. Lena just moved to Mandalay Close. She needed a new start since her boyfriend cheated on her out of the happy ever after she believed they were always going to share. But on the day Lena moves in, letters begin to arrive for all her new neighbours. Letters that promise to expose everyone's deepest, darkest secrets. Every house has received one, except Lena's. Someone clearly wants to implicate her, to ruin her new life and turn everyone against her. She's made an enemy, but who and why? Everyone seems so nice, so trustworthy, so normal. And as always, as I have mentioned quite a few times in my videos, I love psychological thrillers, and this was incredible. So many things happened that I just wasn't expecting, and I love that in any book, but in thrillers especially, it's so good. There was like so much built up tension and suspense. It was just incredible. So I definitely recommend. Literally the line here, a completely jaw-dropping psychological thriller, perfect for any fans of Chaos Slater, Lisa Jewell and Sue Watson. I haven't read any of those, but I agree with it being jaw-dropping, because it was. I remember sitting there shocked. It's so good. But yeah, I 100% recommend it. It's such an incredible book. Please go and read it. It is out now, so go and read it, please. Honestly, it's such a good book. Next up is The Gentleman's Choice by Blake Redman, and this was sent to me by the author a while ago, not as an ARC. He wanted to send me a book, and I chose this one. I really enjoyed it, so I'm very glad I picked it. So let's get on to the synopsis. Caught in a whirlwind of adverse publicity following a viewer's death, the streaming show The Gentleman's Choice becomes the target for a sadistic killer. And it's up to P.I. Vanessa Young to put a stop to it before more young women are murdered. Sounds really good, right? So let me read a little bit more. Not too much, because as I said, I don't want this to go on forever, but a sleazy internet dating show blamed for a viewer's death, a host of a dark secret past, and a killer with a sadistic grudge. Someone is kidnapping and murdering previous contestants from the popular streaming show The Gentleman's Choice, a strictly for adults hybrid of The Bachelor and Love Island. This was such a good book. I remember him sending this to me, and then I had so many other books to get through that I actually had to push this back a bit, and I regret that because this was incredible. I wish I read it sooner. This was so good. I was hooked, I was gripped, I was shocked. The revelation of who it is, never would have guessed ever. Such a good book. If you like kind of like a dark, twisty version, obviously, as it says, The Gentleman's Choice, God, me and my words, of The Bachelor and Love Island, sorry. If you like them too, but a dark, twisty, murdery version of them, definitely read this. 100%, it is so good. The last book is The Murder List by Jackie Kabler, which is a psychological domestic suspense thriller, and it was incredible. But let's get into the synopsis first. When Mary receives a blank diary as a present, she thinks nothing of it, until she opens the diary and sees it's not blank after all. 1st January, murder Lisa, Oxford. 1st of February, murder Jane, Birmingham. 1st of March, murder David, Cardiff. 1st April, murder Mary, Cheltenham? I'm not good with words. Is this a sick joke? But it's the end of January now, and a woman called Lisa was murdered in Oxford on 1st January. Could there really be a killer out there planning to commit a new murder each month, and is Mary due to be killed on the 1st of April? Her? Clock is ticking for Mary to uncover the truth before she becomes the next victim of the killer's list. It was such a good book, and I did have my suspicions of who the killer was, and I was dead wrong. Wrong. Very wrong. Very wrong. But I love that. I love a book that's not predictable. I did read it, I was like, oh, it's going to be this person, it's so obvious, blah blah. I was so wrong, it's embarrassing. Okay? But that's what I love about books that aren't predictable. It's like you think you've sussed it out and you're so smart and all that, and then you're so wrong. It's like, oh, okay. I'm glad I told no one my suspicions, because that's embarrassing. But you know, I am very open and honest, okay? I was so wrong, it was embarrassing. But you know, we move. But yeah, I love this book. It was such a good book. Honestly, obviously these are my favourite thrillers, so I'm going to love them, but all of these thrillers was just so good. So I do recommend every single one. I think my favourite out of all of them would have to be actually The Murder List, because that was just so shocking. I remember reading it on my Kindle and like sitting up in shock. That's how good it was. And those were all of my favourite thrillers. Have you read any of these? Please let me know if you did and if you liked them. And please give me some more thriller recs. I need more thriller books in my life. And they can either be physical or Kindle, I don't mind. I do prefer psychological thrillers, so please recommend them the most. But I am open to other thrillers. And as always, please like, comment and subscribe and hit the bell notification to get notified when I post. And I'll see you in the next video.